Hello, my name is Bjorn Hanson, and I'm submitting this video to the KMSU auction on behalf of my parents, Randall and Judy Hanson. They are the owners of 3 rental properties and their own personal home, of which they are the 3rd generation to own. My mother grew up in this house and also raised 6 kids of her own here with my father. The Mouse River flood of 2011 flooded all 4 of their properties. 3 of their properties, including their personal home, are currently waiting to be torn down. These 3 properties are all located next to each other on 5th Avenue Northwest near Ramstead Middle School. They were submerged in about 10 feet of water. These houses and their foundations are over 80 years old and did not fare well, being submerged for weeks in water that almost reached their attics. The damage they suffered is just too great to make rebuilding them a financially viable option. Their personal house alone would cost an estimated $150,000 to repair. Their 4th property is where my parents are focusing their efforts. This rental property was purchased in January, just months before the flood. They mortgaged 2 of their other properties in order to buy it. The water here reached about 4 feet high on the main level, several feet lower than the other 3 properties. This house and its foundation is 40 years newer than the others and is still structurally sound and able to be rebuilt. This house will no longer be a rental property, but rather a new home for my parents to live. My parents are currently living with my grandmother, along with my 13-year-old sister Kinsey and my Aunt Donna, who also lost her home to the flood. Construction has been able to continue due to the fact that the SBA has approved my parents for a loan to cover the repairs, and also because they are doing much of the work themselves along with family that comes to help. The 2 properties that were mortgaged to buy their new rental are not in foreclosure and will not be. Morally and ethically, my parents do not believe that handing the financial burden over to the bank is right. My parents will look for another way to pay off the 2 mortgages they have on these properties that will be demolished. Whether it be from buyouts or someone else looking to buy the land, or raising money from donations like the KMSU auction, they will try to survive the crisis without compromising their morals. If nothing else happens, they will have to postpone their retirement. They will be nearly 90 years old by the time their new 30-year SBA loan will be paid off. Because of the flood, my parents lost over $500,000 worth of real estate and over $40,000 of annual rental income, and will now have a 3rd mortgage to cover the repairs on the house they are rebuilding. They may never be able to recoup everything they have lost financially, but they both believe that there is much more to this life than money. Money is not something they strive to have an abundance of. It is just a means to allow them to live independently and modestly in their own home, where their 6 kids and 9 grandchildren can come and visit. Any money received from the KMSU auction would help my parents to be able to rebuild without going further into debt, and hopefully get them into their new home by Christmas. Thank you for considering my parents, Randall and Judy Hanson.